Yeah, I put in the music. Good night, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? When the night has come and the land is dark, and the moon ain't the light will be. No, I won't be afraid of you. Oh, not Lord, sir. Be afraid just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Is that music too loud? Welcome into the live, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming. This is your girl Trev from Trevessence, and today we're going to have a little discussion. We're going to talk a little bit. We're not going to stay long, but we're going to stay long enough to talk. All right? All right, I think that's good. All right, we are going to be talking tonight about a situation that was brought to my attention recently, and I just thought, let me throw it out there and let us have a discussion about it. But before we do that, if you are new here, a very, very, very special welcome to you. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel, and if you have not yet hit that subscribe button, now is a great time to do so. And if you are a returning traveler, I want to say thank you for your continued support. Now, we are going to be talking about step parenting. I don't know. I don't know why. Step parenting just seems like such a difficult undertaking, if you know what I mean. I think that if us as humans, if we could just consider kindness as an intricate part of our being, step parenting wouldn't be so difficult. Just now, just before I came online, I saw an article. Where the girlfriend, the father's girlfriend, delivered the man's child to her biological mother in a bucket on the lawn. She took the child's life, put the child in a bucket, then brought the bucket to the biological mother's lawn, and left the bucket with the woman's child's body in it, on her lawn. You know, sometimes when these men think that they have left you, they are found better, there's nothing to cry about. You know, you just let them go on, because they think they have found what they've been looking for all along. But what they have found, the one that they have found, is the demon. That's what they have found. This demon took the child's life, put the child in a bucket, and then bring the bucket and left it on the lawn of the biological mother. That is one grossly sad situation, that a human being could do something so cruel. But tonight, what we are going to be talking about, I just brought that up just because that's a recent story that landed in front of me just now. But what we're really going to talk about is another situation in which a man has a child. I'm gonna just explain the whole situation to you, and you all tell me in the comments what you all think. So this man has a child. He's caring for the child. This is his child, as far as he knows. This is his child. Well, he got a break. He got to go abroad, got himself sorted out, and decided that now he is going to be petitioning for the child to bring the child to live with him abroad. However, after they did the DNA test, it was discovered that the child was not his. In Jamaica, we call that a jacket. In Jamaica, we would say that child is a jacket. So this poor child is now without a father, so to speak, because the man the child knows to be his father has now been proven not to be his father. So now, if you were in this position as a man, what would you do? What would you do if you discovered that a child that you have been raising, a child that you have been spending your money on, a child that you have considered all of this child's life, you have considered this child to be yours? And then all of a sudden, a DNA test proves that the child is not yours. What would you do? Would you walk away from the child? What would you do with that child? Now, I've seen a lot of people who are saying that if the child is not the man's child, then the man has no obligation to the child anymore. And though I may see where they're coming from, I still have concerns about the child, not the parents, not the wrongdoings of the parents. And I don't think the child should be allowed to suffer because the parents did something wrong. I think the child should be allowed to get a chance. I think the father should be. This is the only father the child knows. Why should the father now suddenly turn his back on this child because a DNA test says the child is not his? I want you all to talk to me in the comments and let me know what you all think in a situation like this. If you are in a situation like this, what would you do? If it was your brother or a close family member of yours, what would be your encouragement to this man? How would you treat a situation like this if you had an opinion about the whole situation? What would you say? Oftentimes, the children who take care of the children who end up caring for their parents are oftentimes the black sheep. That I have known to be true. A lot of times, even biological parents, children, it's not guaranteed that your child is going to care for you. However, if you as an adult are charged with the responsibility of caring for a child. Do it and do it well. It is not the child's fault that the child did not get the right father. That has absolutely nothing to do with this innocent child. Blame it on the mother for not giving the child to the right father. But don't deny the child the right, the privilege to have a good life, all because you are mad and wanting to punish the mother. Now, according to the rest of the backstory with this particular situation I'm talking about, the man is still wanting to care for the child. He is still wanting to have the child come to live with him abroad. However, he is with a woman abroad who is refusing for him to bring this child in the household to care for because the child is not his. And I wish I could get to talk to that woman, even though when you see somebody has an initial mindset of that nature, talking to them and trying to convince them that their mindset is all warped is not going to change them. They might decide that, oh well, because you said something, oh well, he can bring the child. But then when he brings the child, they are the first ones who are going to treat the child poorly. So it would have been better if the child never came in their presence to begin with. It is Nats. What's up? How are you doing, my love? Good to see you. Mwah! How are you, my dear? I'm so glad to see you. Thank you so much for coming. I sincerely appreciate you, my love, as always. Yeah. So the child has no responsibility for the circumstance that they find themselves in. It is the adult. And imagine a child calling you daddy for 12 years. 12 years, you are all the daddy this child knows. And this child is calling you daddy. And then a DNA test proves that you are not this child's biological father. And suddenly, we're going to tell the pitney, say, no call me daddy no more. Me and your father. Go tell your mama if you go find your papa. You do that. Well, you can if you want to, but you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Joe! Ah! Joe, how you doing, my love? How you doing? Joe, I'm work today. I'm work. Mommy, I'm work. Yes, Joe, I do quite a few things today. I clean up, do this of the garage, the garden. I did 3 hole today. I did 3 hole because I need to plant. Remember I told you I bought that 5-in-1 peach tree. I'm gonna buy the 5-in-1 plum tree. So I need to put them in the ground because I put them in pots. Because did you know that when you buy, I bought those online. You know that when you buy them online and they come without leaf and they come without dirt. Did you know that? You never buy any plants online? Yeah, it come without leaf, no leaf on it, no dirt. So the same day I was here when they delivered them, I just went round back and just stuffed them in 2 pots. I stuffed them in 2 pots, but they gotta go in the ground. Now they have leaves on them and stuff, but I need to put them in the ground. So that's why I dug those holes today, Joe. I dug 3 holes, 1 for the peach, 1 for the plum, and 1 for the blueberry. Because the blueberry can't stay in the pot in that pot that it's in for forever. It's gotta get out of the pot. Yes, I'm going to plant all 3 of them first thing in the morning. Yeah, and that's going to be it for the trees in the yard. I'm not planting any more trees. That would make me have how many? 8. I have a peach, 5-in-1 peach, 5-in-1 plum, regular peach, pear, blueberry, and 2 apples. Yeah, that's it. And then the grapevine and the garden with the vegetables and yeah, and stuff like that. That is enough. Really, that's the first I'm hearing this, Trev. Yes, man. Oh yeah, I said the word hole enough. Yeah, yes, Nat. When you buy it online, because you know there are regulations about transferring dirt from one area to the next. You know there are regulations pertaining to their agricultural regulations pertaining to the transfer and transport of soil and plants and stuff, because all kinds of creatures, nematodes and all kind of creatures, flies and stuff, larvae and stuff can be transferred from one state to the next, from one area to the next in the dirt and on the leaves and stuff like that. So when you get the plant online, there's no dirt. They wash off all the dirt off of it. That is why when it comes with a disclaimer to plant immediately. Yeah, you gotta plant it immediately, or else it go and die because it don't have no soil. Yeah, that's how they gotta ship it. And they put it in a plastic bag. It's like a plastic bag before it's in the box. So in the plastic bag, it sort of stays moist. It stays moist, and then once you get it, you put it in the dirt, and it's good to go. Cause I got it on March. I got it basically 6 weeks ago. I got them. And now they have leaves, and the leaves are pushing out like they're gonna to make branches, and they're supposed to be 5-in-1. So one plant is supposed to give me 5 different varieties of fruit, of the same fruit. 5 varieties of plum, 5 varieties of peach. But I don't know how long they're gonna take to bear. They might take me 2-3 years to bear. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, so if you buy any plants, online, be prepared that when you get them, they won't have any leaf, they won't have any dirt. It's gonna yeah, and it's for the agricultural reasons why they do that. Yeah. Blessed one is in the house. Blessed one. How are you doing, my sweet sister? So good to see you. Welcome. We are talking tonight. Guys. We are talking about what you're gonna do if the child is a jacket. Joe, what would you do if the child is a jacket? So you find out that this child is a jacket. What would you do? That's my question, really. What would you do if you discover that the child you have been caring for a long time, now you find out that the child is not really yours, the child is a jacket? What would I do? Would you stop supporting the child? What would you do? And for the women, if you have a man, the man been caring for a child, and then you find out that the child is not his, your man, your husband, your boyfriend, whoever, the man is caring for a child that they have outside, and then you realize that the child is not his, what would you do as the woman? Because these situations cannot just They're complicated and they require a lot of thought. And there's also a lot of emotion involved. So if you are not in tune with your emotional intelligence, you might just act a doggone fool in a situation like this. I know what I would do. I know what I would do if I find myself in a situation like that. If I am with a man and he has a child he thought was his and he's caring for the child, and then all of a sudden he finds out that the child is not his. What are you supposed to do? Still care for the child. I can understand. Say if the child is, say, a year old to, say, 2 years old, there isn't too much. There is a lot of bonding at that age, but chances are, if he's not with the child after 2 years old, the child might grow to forget the situation. But if you raise a child, Pitney, call your daddy all the way to 12 years old, that's your child. And every Pitney gonna be that is yours is going to be a biological child, you know. The child doesn't have to be a biological child for you to love that child and care for that child. Just the fact that you are human, and that's what we're supposed to do, care for each other. That should make you want to care for that child. I believe I would still care for the child, but I want nothing to do with the... I know that Joseph did I gonna say. I know that's what he was gonna say, you know. Yeah. Joseph said he would I still care for the child, but have nothing to do with the woman. Blessed One says, still care for the child. Don't let the poor child suffer, just as you would adapt, especially if the mother is humble. Especially if the mother is humble. You think that she go humble? After she find out that the Pitney enough for the man at that time, she go and give attitude. Winsome, where are you? Winsome, where are you? Blessed says that child may love you more than you want. Exactly, Blessed. That child could end up being, as my granny would say, your right hand. That is the Pitney who they go end up look after you. That are the Pitney who are going to end up take care of you. The stone that the builder refused, that be the head cornerstone. And even without looking forward to that child taking care of you, I think as a human being, you have a responsibility as a human being to care for other humans. So therefore, hold on there. So therefore, all right, that was better on the line. So therefore, I don't think the child should be punished for the bad behaviors of the adults. Winsome says sometimes the doctor will take care of you more than you want. Exactly, Winsome. Exactly. And if the Pitney call you daddy, how awkward is it going to be for a child at 12 years old? For suddenly, maybe the mother don't even know where the next man is. Probably just pick this man because of this man look like he must go and take care of her and take care of the Pitney. Maybe that's what happened. You don't know what kind of circumstance you find herself in. I will never bash her. Because you don't know what circumstance she found herself in. But Winsome say, Blessed One, I did not get my right, Dad. And he do a good job, all right. All right. You know how hurt it is when you find out you get a jacket. I can only imagine, you know, Joseph. Look how much. Okay, fine, open the door and come. Imagine, Joseph says, you know how hurtful it is. I can only imagine, Joseph, that it has to be hurtful, that it has to be painful to a man believe a child is his and work for 12 years and care for that child only if you find out say the child is not his. I can only imagine. Nat says, I would want my honey to continue to take care of my baby because the child grow up to know the man. Exactly. God say, I would that say, say me that. Me say me what? Me dash where me I say, who that? What? Who that? Oh, I ain't drink tonight, Jesus. Oh, I ain't drink tonight. Kim, what's up, babe? How are you doing, my love? So good to see you. Welcome, Kim. What kind of flowers in the garden tonight? Marigold? What kind of flowers? Lavender? What kind of flowers in the garden? Oh my God. Yeah, and there are lots of people who have found themselves in this situation where they didn't get where they didn't get their right father, and the man who raised them as their the man who raised them, the man who they call daddy all their life, they still as adults, even if they get to know their biological father, they still call the man who raised them daddy because that is the daddy they know. Daddy don't have to be blood, you know. It's just your circumstance. That's why everybody's situation is different. And we cannot pile up everybody's situation and clump it up as one and say, this is what it is. No. Everybody's circumstance is different. The reasons why anybody would end up why any woman would end up giving a man a jacket. I know some people might say, oh, she's a hostage, she's a whatever. And don't be so quick to talk to say, if you do those things. Don't be so quick. Because you don't know the circumstance people be under. You know the stress. You know what was happening in their life at the time. And I just lucky somehow we're lucky. Just by the grace of God, make a lot of us not end up in the same situations or we turn up with nose at. And just because of the grace of God. So don't be too quick to say that woman is a hussy or whatever for give the man jacket. Whatever it is, make she work it out, whatever it is. But I'm worried about the child. The young, innocent child. If I am with a man and he has a child outside, and he discover that the child is not his, I wouldn't encourage him to stop taking care of the child. Me wouldn't encourage him to do that. I would encourage him to care for the child. Take good care of the child. Because it's not the child's fault. And if the pitney already attached to you, and the pitney already calling you daddy, once you know what are you gonna do now? Shun the child, turn your back on the child, say you don't want the pitney to call the daddy anymore. What are you gonna do? Jappy is in the house. Jappy is here, guys. If you don't know connect with Jappy yet, go and connect with my brother Jappy. Go and connect with Jappy, my friends. If you don't know connect with him yet. And get your Jamaica sports updates. Kim said roses. Thank you, my love. It's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much, my darling. Kim said pretty little roses. Pretty little roses in the garden tonight. Yeah, but I have found, my friends, that there are some women who are not short of cold and calculated, and they would want the man they are with to care for their child or children that they have before they met the man. But the man cannot have another child out the street and bring it coming out of the house. They would lose their marbles. That's why I say some women like to pick up men who do, I use the word pick up, but anyway, men who don't have children. Women who have children are out there looking for men who don't have children, because they want this man to come now and care for their child, their children, but them don't want the man to have no other obligations, fatherly obligations outside. And these are the women who in any time, in less than no time, they inveigle the man to adopt their children, give the children his name, care for these children while the deadbeat father come off the hook and go about in business. Any mature man, would still take care of the child. Yeah. And I would encourage, if he's even my son, I would encourage him to care for the child. It's not the child's fault. Child's got nothing to do with it. And since you've already established a relationship with the child, just keep it up. Just keep it going. Yeah, just keep it going. Love the child the same way, even though you know what is happening. You understand? Even though you know. I saw a young lady one time. She has 3 grandkids. I said grandkids, right? Her son passed away and left 3 kids. Okay? The mother of the 3 children, had some run-ins with the law and all these things, and the children were taken from the mother, put in state custody, and then the grandmother decided that, well, you know what, my son has passed away. These are my grandkids. I don't want them to be all over the place in the foster system, yada yada yada, whatever. So she went ahead and she filed a petition to become the guardian, the custodial parent. She's the grandmother of the children. After she got the children, the court awarded her the children because the mother was going through some challenges she had to sort out. And the grandmother did a DNA test on the 3 children. The 3 children to me look alike. The 3 of them look like they are the same mother and the same father. But looks are deceiving. So the grandmother took the DNA test of the 3 children. And what do you know? It came back that 2 of the children did not belong to her son. Joseph said the woman them must tell the man them the truth from the beginning, and make them own decision. I agree, Joe. I agree. The woman them must tell the man them the truth from the beginning. Let the man make a decision about whether or not he wants to stay in the relationship with you. Tell the man so the pitney and not feel the possibility that the child is not is there. Don't mislead the man. Don't mislead the man for years. Years in, year out, you misleading the man, you trying to convince the man that this child is his. And you know, deep in your soul, that this child is probably not his. And that is why in last year, when the government in Jamaica proposed mandatory DNA tests, a lot of people were getting up in their feelings and I was like, I'm done with it. Because we gotta eliminate all these social anomalies that's in society. We have to take measures to eliminate them. Because when a woman says, I don't know who got me pregnant, I don't know who is the father of my child. That poor child has to grow up and live with everything that comes behind this this mother's recklessness. Jappy says, I'm here at home tonight, helping my son with his... Oh, there you go, Jappy. Helping his son with his homework. What will some say? I mean, that's all right. Okay. When some say H1N1 is here, what are you talking about? You mean H1N1, the flu? The H1N1 flu is in Jamaica? Oh, let me think H1N1 did had disappeared already. I haven't heard about it in a hot minute. Ain't that the bird flu? Is that the bird flu, Winsome? H1N1. In virology, influenza A virus subtype H1N1 is a subtype of influenza A virus. Major outbreaks of H1N1 strains in humans. Or strains of the Spanish flu. Okay. Beg you, please don't catch it, Sister Winsome. You stay far from it when you see it coming. Many of the older men may very well got the wrong father. Let me tell you something. Blessed one. You talk it simple but are true. Growing up, you always hear people say, after this is smarty and after that is smarty, like, you know, see how that the pitney there, you know, see how that pitney there favor Master Joe pitney them. And Master Joe and father. I remember back then there weren't any DNA tests. There weren't any DNA tests. So whoever you say is your father is your father. Whoever your mother say is your father, that is your father, and that is the end of that. When the pitney grow up, sometimes the pitney resemble. I know of a young woman who, when me tell her, she look like her father. So the father have his wife and his children. The man have his wife and his children. But for some reason, me don't know how him end up with this woman. And this woman married, you know. Me don't know how him end up with this woman, but she is married and she has some children for her husband. And then there is this child that is sort of in the middle. In the middle of the children she have with her husband. Like she have like 7 kids and this child is like number 4. Okay? And this child no look nothing like the others. The others them tall because the mother tall and the father tall. So them tall and them You can look at them and just see the resemblance. And it was everybody always wondering like, oh, why she looks so different from the rest of them? Oh, she look kind of different. She look kind of different. But it wasn't until I was like grown, I hear people saying, oh, you know, see how she look like so and so. You know, say so and so is our family, is our sisters. Them are our sisters, and when you look at them for real, you're like, oh. And you know, when that girl became an adult, her mother told her that the man was her father. Them something make people laugh after your pitney, make your pitney them turn the brunt of the joke, and people mock your pitney them and make nice, call them all kinds of names. When some say a long time she not get the flu. I hope you not catch it either, sister. You drink up your turmeric and lemon juice and all other things. I think to avoid this problem, the laws need to be updated to require mandatory DNA testing before registration of all children, even in the marriage. I agree, Kim. I would totally support a bill like that. Of course. Because I believe every pitney deserves them right father. My mother used when we were growing up, and as soon as we start our propeller start beating, and my mother know we're going to probably go have manna, have pitney. That was the first thing she said to us. If you don't go out there, and sleep with dog, have dog pitney, you don't give dog in pitney. That's all me I tell you now. So be careful who you go and sleep with, because anybody who get pregnant for, if it's a dog, you go and give the dog in pitney. You understand? It is only fair. Blessed say, we are all jackets. Minimum we are a jacket. Something wrong with all Sister Blessed have. And then have the nerve to laugh. Sister Blessed say we are all jackets, but God still cares for us. The Bible says you are of your father, the devil. Oh my God, blessed one, not easy. No, sir. No jackets around here, Joseph said. That is why the woman them must sleep with one man at a time. So when you get pregnant, you know exactly who empty the water. Joseph said, you sleep with one man at a time, so that when you breathe, you know who empty the water. You know, Joseph get then turn me from it. And that is so true, Joseph. Yeah, if you know who get you pregnant. Yeah, that is a woman's responsibility, with all fairness. That is a woman's responsibility. You need to know with whom you slept, and you need to know who is your child's father, and it is your responsibility. That is Joseph. I mean, hey G, what's up? How you doing, my love? How you doing, my sweetheart? Good to see you. Let me tell you something. Joseph, blessed says that Joseph have no mercy for the woman them. But me agree with Joseph, you know, blessed. Joseph is right. Joseph is right. You understand? It's not easy. It's not easy for a man caring for a child. Caring for a child. Feed pitney, clothe pitney, send pitney to school. Believe wholeheartedly that this child is yours, and then to find out the child isn't. That cannot be nice. And even if the man wants to continue to care for the child, imagine that child knowing this truth and feeling like they don't have a place, feeling like they don't belong, because now the grandmother the child know is they're no longer the grandchild. They no longer, this child is no longer considering himself to be the nephew of his father's siblings. The pit never feel like lost, like a ship without a sail. Because even if the father is going to agree to care for the child, imagine that the rest of the family members might alienate the child to say the child is not a part of them. Because the child don't belong to them, brother. And that can cause another round of mental problems for that child. Okay, I was just looking to see where my key is because I don't think my car is closed, but I'm really so sorry for children who fall in that lot. Yes, I feel very, very bad for children who find themselves in that position. And oftentimes the mother be so embarrassed, they don't want to tell the child who is their real father, because it will bring a measure of shame on them. So they don't want to deal with it. But if you know, say you get pregnant, you're not sure whose child it is, and you are worried that somebody's gonna have something to say, get a child your name. Don't get a child to no man under false pretense. Just get a child your name. Call it a day. When you are able to either do a DNA test or something to discover who is the child's real father, then the child can go add the father name on the birth certificate, or then you can, say to the man, well, this is your child, and the man has definitive proof that this is his child. Simple. But you can't just have the child and the child over to somebody and say, well, are you with the there with your pitney, or you have money to care for pitney, so you get the pitney. Are your pitney? Because when a man establishes paternity of a child, he says this child is my child. Remember, it's not just the man that's going to be affected now. The man's mother, that's the child's grandmother, child's grandfather, aunties, uncles, cousins, all of the family is going to see the child. Well, this is my nephew, this is my grandson, this is my whatever the relation may be. So imagine that now this poor child at 12 years old has to unlearn that he is related to all these people. Just get a put in your name, call it a day. When the child is old enough, you put in the child. Because if you're gonna go, you can't go by like what a baby look like, because baby's features change all the time. You can't go by what a baby look like and say, oh, he look like John. Look what him look a chin, and look what him look a nose. No. Because sometimes the baby might look like the person you think the baby look like, but the baby totally different. The blood test don't lie. So you can stay there with your eyes. Joseph said, blessed one, I'm a straightforward man. I don't beat up. I see that Joseph. Joseph does not beat around the bush. Straightforward. Tell it like it is. Tell it just like it is. Oh, my clothes nasty upright. Blessed say, seems these things will not stop unless the government bring compulsory testing at birth. Exactly. But why women love the pipe more than themselves? Why women love the pipe more than themselves? The pipe of water and them not have none. I know the pipe them love are the juice, the water and the pipe. Lord Jesus, juice, let me entertain you with this. Oh my gosh. I don't know why the women won't protect themselves from. Oh my God. Wait, all on the people, all on there, don't move, don't. All right, let us continue our conversation. Yes, yes, blessed. I completely agree with you. When Mr. Olness said it the other day, a lot of people were not in agreement with him, and a lot of people were saying, they're not in agreement, mandatory DNA testing, and people had their reasons why they were saying they were not in agreement with it. But I don't see anything that is wrong with it, because nowadays even married people are get jacket. And the hate and the anger that comes after a man discovers that a child that he has bonded with is not biologically his, contrary to what he has been led to believe, it can cause a man to act out of character. So me say, yes, get the DNA test done as soon as possible. Get the DNA test done. So when you establish paternity, you establish it once and for all. You don't have to worry about it no more. Blessed say, a lot of dirting and big. Yes, blessed. Exactly. A lot of women end up losing life. A lot of men end up being in jail because of situations like these. So I agree that they must get the DNA test at birth. At birth. So after that, you don't have to worry about it at all. If the baby is not for Joe, it's for AG. If the baby is not for Joe, it's for AG. Yes, and the women, only because they can't force you. They can't force you to bring in the men you slept with to check to see who is the dad. Joseph said, no, not a one of the people. It was a lot of women have problem with people. It was a lot of women have problem with. Write that again, Joseph. Write that again. Google swipe a beat you. Google swipe. Google swipe a heck to put in word. I see the way you not say though. All hell going let loose. Exactly. All hell going to break loose when a man finds out that a child he has been caring for however how long. Marriage going mash up for women but not behaving themselves. Exactly. Marriage is going to break up. Not me, Trev. No jacket. Not me, no, Joseph. Joseph, man, I'm rapping, brother. No jacket. It's either mine or it's not mine, but no jacket. And I agree with you. And you know, guys, as much as we want to be on the nice side and the kind side and all of that, and we want to act like decent human beings, because that is the way to go about life. Just be a decent human being. And as much as we want to, we have to admit that it has to be. It's not an easy feat for a man to care for a child that he knows is not his. And if a man says, well, now that it has been established that the child is not mine, we can't beat him up, you know. We can't beat him up, even if he says that. Because what him to do? The child not for him. You can't beat him, you can't force him to marry a child that is not his. Because every man has a responsibility to care for his seed. And the way some men gonna look at it is, why I must be working my butt off and paying for your seed while you gone scotch-free? No, your seed and you prepare for your seed. So that could come into play without them recognizing the emotional attachment that he has to the father. He has an emotional attachment to the dad, but the father gone scotch-free. Blessed say it happen all in a church. It happen everywhere. It happen everywhere. Once a woman is willing to cheat, the possibility of her giving a man a jacket becomes realer and realer the more she cheats. A matter of fact, my days of getting kids is over. Joseph, you're a man, your days of getting kids cannot be over. Leave that to people like me. Leave that to people like me who are no longer of childbearing age. The only children me are bear nowadays. The only children me are bear nowadays is grandchildren. Those are the only children I'm bearing. Blessed say it's not so much the child. It's to think another man was going with his woman. All that too. To think that your woman was turning up tail somewhere with another man and then come turn up tail with you. Because that's the only way you can have a conflict as to who is the father of your child. If during the window of conception you turned up tail with both people or 3 people, 5 people, however many people. That's the only way. Blessed say. Okay. Oh, I read that already. Joseph said, me don't want no more. 2 is enough. Joseph, you're not fling seed, right, man? What the heck, Trev? 2 is better than too many. I remember when I was growing up, they had this advertisement on TV, you know, when the US came out with this campaign. The US came out with this campaign about family should only have 2 children, yada yada. And Mr. Jamaica pick it up and run with it to say, "Only remember, gentle people? I remember when the US came out with this campaign in the 1980s and said 2 is better than too many. Jamaica pick it up and run with it and start talking about 2 is better than too many. Not the maths brain this from primary school. You don't remember? You remember the advertisement there? But wait, why Trev look so pretty tonight? Do I look pretty tonight? Let me look pretty every night. Every night it is. Born pretty, me wear pretty, and me name pretty. Miss, you remember Blessed? Exactly. See the Blessed remember. And them come with this campaign, or two is better than too many. You must have more than 2 kids. Da 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 da. Advertisements were everywhere. Advertisements were everywhere. So you must have only 2 children. I don't hear those advertisements anymore. The environment that I claim that if you have the more people in the world, there's going to be more resources needed. The world running out of resources. All of this stuff that they were trying to justify that you shouldn't have more than 2 children. I say if you can afford to take care of your children, you could have 4 million in a business. Have you put them and take care of them. Just don't make them be menace to society, running around with some little tear up body brief, now go to school, barefoot, their belly because it's full of worm and all them something there, and the pity them look so desperate. There's nothing more unattractive to me than a desperate looking child. Joseph say, my mother and father have one doesn't have a tree. That's my father. My father, I think, have about a dozen of us. But not my mommy. And none of my sister, them don't have as much pitney as me. I'm me the breeder. I'm me alone have 5 pitney. Me alone have 5. Everybody else have little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And me 1 have 5. And nobody know more than me. And trust me, if I could, I would have the 5 of them again. If I could, I would. The only difference me that make is I would have them closer together. I would have knocked them up. Bam, 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 bam. Make them grow up like step. Because my kids come in different stages of my life. So they are years apart. Like between the first one and the last one. When the first one was, when the baby, my daughter, when she was born, my eldest child is like 20 years older than her. 22. Yeah. So when the first one was 22, the last one was just being born. Oh my gosh. And the 3 in the middle. Yeah, so them have couple years apart. If I was to do it again, I would have all of them the most 2 years apart. I make them grow up together. So they all grow up together. But nowadays, the man not already if you have them. But by the time you have two pitney, then start tell us say you get all your body a change or this or that. Them want one next woman, different woman. You are the last one, Joe. Me Jesus. Joe say I'm the last one. With something about a lot of boys. My family don't have no boys. The only boys my immediate family have is my 2 boys. But my mother don't have no boy pitney. None of my sister them, my immediate sister them. Not counting the one that my father have, the strugglers that my father have a street. My mom's children. No have no boys, only me. Let me see. Do I wash bed? Yes, sir. Do a wash belly. Joe is a wash belly. For those of you who are not Jamaicans, yes, when a child does not get the right father, their jacket, when you have your children, the last child that you have is called a wash belly. So if you didn't know, now you do. Rest yourself. I'm not the panel life belong. Give me 30 minutes. Okay. All right. So let us continue the conversation. Make we continue the conversation. For those of you who are just coming into the live, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for coming. We are talking about what do men do. What do you think a man should do if he finds out that a child that he's been caring for is not his child? A child that he has been loving and referring to as his child, he has now found out that the child is not his biologically. What do you think he should do? That's what we are talking about tonight. My big sister have 5 boys. Every minute she go a boy, she not get no girl. What she say? I joke me, the door no close on me. I just say the door no close on me. And Joseph try make the door, make sure so the door no close on you. Okay? But after we reach a certain age, we don't want to have no baby no more. That's why when I see people in their 50s and 60s just to get baby, I'm like, oh my, something must be missing. Why they would have choose to have this at this late stage in life? Not having no children at them late stage. At the time they wrap it up here till now on earth. You wrap up your jewels on earth. When you talk about they have pitney 50, 60, I saw this just put me up on my finger, you see. I saw this thing online where this girl is 24, I think. She's 24 and her husband is 73. Yeah. She's 24 and her husband is 73 or 74. Something like that. Something like that. No, so come. Child, leave me be. Give me 30 minutes. 30 minutes good? That too long? Alright. Just I talk to people and them come. God people. I tell you. But Joe said I don't want the door to close for him. Guys, me on double duties, you know. My other hand is summoning me to come. Summoning me to come. I must do one more shadow, you know. I must do one more shadow. She want my undivided attention. Until I must come. She insisting that I come in the middle of my life. I want to know how that go. And tell them, look at me and now I'm moving up. She stopped there. Watch her face, so she stopped there, watch me. And she not moving until I come off of the life to come deal with her. Okay. So I don't know. I well want to stay here so and chat to do no. But me there for my duties. Me there for my duties. We have to go. Wait. What do you can't wait? Let me come in. Just so she give me all kinds of signs. So I must help you. I mean, I don't help you because then time I try to help her with her homework, she don't want me to help her. So I want to homework, I can't homework check on for help her with. I have a lot of family on both sides, and I know no 3/4 of them. Me not even talk about not knowing family, because I know me I try to find my family, my father's side of family, and me can't find them. Me can't find them. You know which part in there. I got no idea. So who knows? Who knows where they are? And I'm not losing sleep over it, because my grandmother, I told you, my grandmother was a teenager. My grandmother was a teenager. She said my grandfather my grandfather my father's father was a grown man. My grandmother was a teenager. Them get together somehow. My grandmother get pregnant, have my father. My grandfather gone about in business. My father was raised by his grandparents and stuff. And you know, when him get older, try to find his father. His father gone about in business. Him try to find some siblings. He found some siblings. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So I don't know my father. I don't know my father's father side of family. The only person I know from my father's father is my father. I don't know them. So jacket is something new. And if I even know jacket, but people not knowing them parents is not something new. My father certainly was not a jacket. It's just that I think his father was probably married or whatever the case situation was. But him and my grandmother were not an item. She was just a little teenage girl, and he was a big man accordingly to them, what they say. And then, you know, back in the day, they say, you know, she have the baby. She have the baby and the man gone about in business. Probably been wife and picking them all about. You understand? So I don't know anybody from that side. I know my father's mother, people them. But that's about it. Andrea said, top of the night, Andrea, how are you doing, my love? Top of the night to you, my love. Well, Winter, I'm go on. Winter, anytime me gone. Cause she started up right as I steered on my morning. She started up right as I steered on my morning. I guess she want to do something before she got her bed. The latest her bed is 10 o'clock. So Andrea, how are you doing, my love? Marlon, what's up? Hope you're having a great day, my dear. Hope you're having a great day. You all see when I'm not on mommy duties, the weeks, that's when we get to, you know, we don't understand chat for a long time, and we get to you know, interact with each other for a long time. When me on mommy duties, brother the woman, come read me my rights. Marlon, what's up? How you doing? How has your day been? When some say me to go on and come back. Aye, sir. When me go on, I'm gone. You're doing well, Marlon. Wonderful. Me not even come online today to come see who did have live today. It's a shame. Me didn't come see who have live today. One of Arlie is there. Arlie, you're going live again, Arlie. I saw that you tested the waters. What happened? They're too troubled for you? There we go. Welcome into the live, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button, my friends. Don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. We are talking about men who oftentimes get jacket, and whether or not after they find out that the jacket, that the child or children are jacket, what do you think them should do? I know me remember when I was telling you all about the lady with the 3 grandchildren. We never finished telling you. Cause no gone nowhere, cause they right in the background. That the lady with the 3 grandchildren, she sent the DNA test to test the 3 grandchildren, and it come back only one belonged to our son. Only one belonged to our son. But she decided that she didn't want the kids to be separated and go into the foster system. So she kept all 3. And I have to say blessings to her. She kept all 3 children. But even though the other 2, the DNA test, they are not her sons, but they have been calling her grandma all this time, and she couldn't just put them out, and I agreed that she shouldn't just say, well, they are not her grandchildren because the DNA test said so. Because now that their father is dead, they are going to be depending on her. And he was the only father they knew. Give me 2 minutes. This son, Noir, she do it behind his back. This son, Noir, she do it behind his back. No, the son had died. The son died, and she was taking the children. The son died. And so she didn't want, the system had taken the children. She didn't want the children to grow up in the system. So she decided to go petition to take custody of the children. So when she did that, she had the children. Tila, watch me. When she did that, she discovered on her own. It wasn't the court who ordered the DNA test. She was the one who did it privately on her own. So that's when she discovered that only one of the children was her. Only one child came back to be related to her. only one child of the 3, but she still kept all 3, and she's raising all 3 because the mom lost custody to the grandmother. Yeah, and she's raising all 3. Yeah, I think that was a great thing to do, because if it was some people, they would have wanted to send back the other 2. They would want to send back the other 2 to say, well, these are not her children. But I said I applaud her for continuing to care for all 3 children, because siblings, I don't think, it is right to separate them, especially when they have gone through trauma together. They went to the trauma together of losing their dad, and to them, they lost their dad. So even if you're going to tell them no to somebody else and their father, they still had that traumatic experience together. So I think it is only fair that they be left to continue to be each other's support, and they can continue to grow together. I just think so. All right, that's it, guys. All right, guys, that's it. We're going to cut the live. We're going to cut off the live now. If I'm finished in time. Yeah, I know. If we are finished, really, if we are finished in time, we will come back. But for right now, I'm going to tend to my charge here in 2 seconds. I'm going to tend to her, and then I will come back if I'm finished with her in time, I'll resume the live. I'm not gonna leave this live running because she already reading me my rights. But anyway, guys, all right, I'm gonna tend to my daughter. I'm going to I'm going to tend to her because she is there. Normally, she don't really bother me when I'm on live, but when she is determined that she want me to come help her do something, I got to geo. All right. So I love you guys. I love you. I will be back either later tonight or tomorrow, whichever the case may be. But when we go help her, see whatever she's doing because it's getting close to her bedtime. All right. All right, guys. So we will talk again about this topic or some other topic. And I want to say thanks to everybody who came into the live. I sincerely appreciate you all. Thank you all so much. Let me go tend to this and we will talk. All right, guys. Yes, Sister Winsome. I agree.